Hey y'all, it's Gabby and this is my season 15 episode 12 review of Drag Race. I really enjoyed watching this episode. It had everything. It had drama, tears, politics, a not so great lip sync in my honest opinion, and a questionable elimination. But these are my thoughts on how the storylines have been progressing so far. With the cold open, we've got the previous wrap up of the previous episode. The queens file into the workroom. And I have to say that Marsha, in my opinion, got one of the best edits. If you're not going to win, if they're not going to give you the winner edit, at least they can do, or what's ideal is to have an edit where you are portrayed as a professional that knows how to roll with the punches, that knows how, that, bucks people's unexpectations. People didn't think that she was a great lip syncer. She beat Malaysia in the Lollapalooza. She held her own against Anitra. Like, I by no means felt like that Anitra versus Marsha lip sync was a murder. It wasn't. It was pretty damn close. But I think that Anitra jumping over Marsha, just took it over the edge. So again, congratulations, Marsha. You're going to be very booked and very busy. So congratulations. Nobody needs to win this show in order to do well. I really believe that.
Been home a long time ago, to be honest. Instead of me being in the bottom some of those times, it definitely could have been Marsha. So, sorry, girl, I love you.
All right, so let's talk about this lack of self-awareness with these queens. I love Selena. I honestly think they keep her around because she is such great television and great commentary. But for her to be talking about anybody going home, baby, you should have gone home weeks ago. For those lip syncs, for those garments. But they let you live, girl. They let you live.
Listen, if I'm in the top, I can talk my way into winning the crown.
Selena basically saying, I can talk my way into the finale instead of having wins. To me, is kind of gaggy because if you look at it, the eliminations this season to me have been very questionable. Like, really, really questionable, including the one in this episode. So if the judges don't have to play fair, then why should the queens? I just don't think we should have this expectation of Drag Race as the pinnacle of competition reality series, even though it wins Emmy after Emmy. No, it wins Emmys because it's heartfelt and it's entertaining. And who doesn't love a good show?
And entering my top era, I'm ready.
Top era? Come on, girl. As a story producer, that's something I always look for. Okay, I might think that this comment is diluted, but it might be the start of a journey, and it's taking us on a journey of how well or how not well a queen does.
Welcome to the club.
The girls are de-dragging, and I really love the way they constructed this scene. It was equal parts hilarious, but very informational. So as they kind of mentioned in the last episode, we are very close to the finale. At this point, we have 6 girls left. And I think the actual finale season is when there are 4 girls. So we have 2 girls left before we get to the finale. And so far, Sasha is she's a front runner. Then we've got Mistress with 1 win. Lux and Lucy both, I think, have 2 multi-challenge wins. And Selena has none. And that's where we are right now. So again, Miss Sasha Colby being in the bottom kind of puts a dent in that winner edit she's been getting. Because she's not this is the first time on the bottom. She did not go through this competition unflawed, quiet as it's kept. So, but I still don't feel like I'm getting enough from Sasha in her story beyond, oh, my parents don't like me, they don't accept me. But what's her personal? I want to know what Sasha Colby's personal struggle and transformation outside of being a trans woman is as it relates to this show. Because I'm just getting the goddess edit, and as a storyteller, it's hard for me to root for someone that's always doing well.
I'm a cool ass bitch, she's Joey J.
I'm a cool ass bitch, I'm Joey J.
This scene basically sets the stakes for who belongs in the competition and who doesn't. And for me, it's been helpful to pay close attention to whatever the theme of that last minute in the cold open is, because that's setting the tone. The Rusical was about who's got the chops, not only talent-wise, but heart-wise to make it to the finale. Okay, so Ru pops up on the screen to give the queens a hint on what they can expect for this maxi challenge, and I was thinking, does anyone know how you get a job as a writer writing those bits? Because I feel like I can do that, and I would love to do that. Do you have to be a producer? Like, what training do you need for that? So if anyone's watching, like, please let me know. After Ru talks to the girls and he lets them know what the maxi challenge is, which is Wigloose, based on Footloose, about a small town that outlaws drag. Sound familiar? So in Act 2, we've got the girls. They're choosing their own roles. And I always feel like no matter what the method is, whether the girls choose their own roles or whether the producers pair them up with people, like, it's never random. Like last week with the bubbly challenge. It might have seemed random, but I kind of feel like the first ADs had something to do with, okay, you're going to stand over here and you're going to stand over here. And I know Lux was like, oh, they don't make us say stuff like that, or they don't make us like be in groups unless they personally assign us. But I just don't see a show that's been running for 15 years just accept that the queens are just going to go at random. That might be reality. My intuition is telling me that's not the case.
Everyone here except for me has musical theater experience, so I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage, but baby, I'm about to flip it and show you how it's done.
We know Mistress. We know that she's done well in challenges and she's not done so well in challenges. So at this point, we have a track record. It could go either way. But that bite is a really good way. Again, it's tracking. Now we know what Mistress's personal struggle is. Of course, when I'm filming, that's when they want to have their party. Anyway, when a contestant or a cast member is like, I'm good at this or I'm not good at this, that's a ding, 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 ding. That's giving us a flag. Watch this. Follow this. Because in the field, it can get overwhelming with what to follow, what's important. But, you know, performance sound bites are a really good way to track story, and it's a really good way to focus on the story because it's something you can track. Do they live up to what they said or do they fail? So the girls are sitting around and they're casting the show. Comes up Lucy's bite about wanting to be the lead because she needs these judges to see that she's the real deal. Again, we're going with that Lucy thing with I need to show people what I'm about. And my advice to her has always been show, don't tell. And we think, okay, harmless enough. She wants to be in the lead, no big deal. Until Lux also wants the same role that Lucy does. And her and Mistress, I thought, ganged up on Lucy and was like, you're not keeping it real. You just want the lead, keep it real. Which I agree with because she just said in the confessional that she wanted the lead to show the judges that she was the bomb.com, and now she's denying it, and I just don't know why she would do that. But Lucy also brought up a good point when she stated in the confessional that she thought that Mistress and Lux were picking on her because they didn't want her to have the role, which I kind of get because I think at this point, and we'll see this later in the episode, Mistress, it seems like she goes out of her way to antagonize Lucy, and I understand that Lucy is very serious and doesn't always cut up. But it's just not cute. Like maybe the first 2 episodes it was Kiki. I personally never found it funny that people were rooting for Lucy's downfall and for her to have a nervous breakdown. I think that's just bull. That's cruel.
It's funny how everything connects because you were born to do drag.
And Anitra cries and she gives her best, mug to the camera. It's looking very, for $1 a day, you two can feed an impoverished child. It's giving putting on the Ritz. Congratulations in advance for your Emmy, Anitra. Sometimes having Ru have strong opinions or expectations can either knock a queen off their square or it can give them the push that they need. But I don't really pay attention to the rehearsals or the one-on-ones unless it's about the queen's personal development, because the proof is in how they do in the Maxi Challenge, not in the feedback, the behind the scenes stuff that we see. Okay, so now we're in Act 4. This is post rehearsal. All the dolls are in the workroom getting made up, ready for the Maxi Challenge. Okay, I'm gonna have to call production out because I feel like they're laying it on thick with Lucy. Mistress is in the mirror. She's doing her makeup. She's talking about a queen that swears they're so nice, but they're not. And then we immediately get a shot of Lucy. And I thought that was wild because I'm like, at what point has Lucy ever been the big bad bitch? She's been intense, she's been serious, but she's never been a menace. It's kind of like last season with Jasmine Kennedy. I never got bitch from her. I always got, damn, she talks a lot. And that can be annoying, but it doesn't make someone a bitch. So it's just it's stuff like that with production where I'm just like, unless you're gonna show us that she's being a bitch, like don't use another cast member or use footage to create a narrative that's not real.
At times.
The state of the world that we live in, it's so wild. Now they want to outlaw drag, and they now feel entitled to hurt you.
Drag queens are not grooming kids to be gay or sexual. And I appreciate the queens clocking the streets about how we will groom our kids. Oh, they're going to be a lady killer. Why are we putting that in our children's head that they need to look forward to a life where they're sexually desirable?
But someone dressed as a princess telling a story about a mermaid is offensive to them.
Like, oh, we're going to use the drag queens as a scapegoat. We don't have universal health care. Rent and mortgages are out of this fucking out of control because we let BlackRock buy up everything. Like, y'all are never, ever, 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 ever going to convince me that I need to hate someone because they're working class, a different color, or like gay or whatever. It's just, I can't. My real enemy is a person that thinks it's okay for these corporations to make their record profits in a pandemic when so many people are still struggling.
Yes, Mother. Meet us at the abandoned barn after school.
The Rusical has started, and I have to say that for all that talk, all that fighting for that role that Lucy did, I felt like she blended into the background. I feel like the person that she was fighting with outshined her. And this is, again, a repeat of season 14, Bosco versus Camden. Camden gave Bosco the role, but Camden ended up winning, playing a different role, and Bosco was on the bottom. So it's just like, what kind of message are we trying to send here?
Welcome, bum tuckers. Category is Drag Ball Eleganza.
Anitra, you did me proud, girl. I love your quiet confidence, your quiet power. You are very king of swords in reverse. You own your fucking space, but you don't have to throw your weight around. You don't have to be a dick to people. And that's why she's been one of my favorite queens and my current winner. Because I want to see your talent, not your attitude. Act 5, we're in the runways. I loved all the runways, especially Lucy's. I did think that it was unique. No one else is doing Thing in the Blue Lagoon or the Black Lagoon. I don't know, one of those movies. And she's also a horror buff, right? So like that's her brand, doing horror things. So if she gets any flack for that, I won't understand it. My least favorite look was Mistress's. I thought it was technically beautiful, but I wasn't really feeling the gloves and the jewels. It didn't tell me a story. And I feel like she's had a couple of runways like that where like, it's like whatever, but like the judges don't say shit or they don't show it. Selena's look, I was confused about. I really didn't understand. It didn't seem cohesive, but it was interesting to look at. The hands were ridiculously big. I thought that she could have used a headpiece or something to balance out how big those damn gloves were. Love the colors though. That she did get right. Miss Colby, favorite outfit of the night. I love that reconstructed dress out of baseball mitts. It is so pretty. I love it. I love it. I love it. Love it. Okay, so now we're in the critiques, and I am shocked that Lucy got good feedback because, again, I felt like she faded into the background. I think that when the person who you were fighting with over a role does better than you in a different role, that's saying a lot. Unfortunately, I feel like it's not Lucy's fault. She's not a TV professional. But I do feel like she kind of fed into these traps that these producers were setting for her. And I don't want Lucy or Lux to feel bad. It's just TV. But again, the shenanigans like that is why we get such guarded queens. Production complains about queens not wanting to open up, but then we do dumb crap like this and kind of fuck with people's heads. We can't have it both ways. We can't mess with people to get the intended outcome and then be shocked when they come back and they're guarded. Like, we didn't earn their trust. And the deeper in my career I get, the more I realize, yes, I have to act with integrity, but story is king. So do what you got to do to get there. And sometimes it can feel icky. Mistress, you were right, girl. You did have a happy ending. You did a great job. You were amazing. You were the anchor that made that Rusical work. And I'm so proud of you. I'm not a fan of how you keep messing with Lucy, but as a drag queen, you are it. Why did the judges bring up the fight between Luxx and Lucy? I don't feel like it added anything to the story. I feel like it was pointless. I don't think that judges should get involved in stuff like that because it feels very tattletale. It's like telling Ru how she should treat the girls. Yeah, Ross, I do not agree with his critique about Selena's look. I think it's BS. If Selena had brought her ass down that runway in a black bodysuit, y'all would have read her for filth, and you most assuredly would have sent her ass home.
Queens, this week the competition is neck and neck.
Baby, Ru didn't even finish the sentence about who do you think should go home. I stopped my computer, I went to the corner, I gathered my thoughts, I took a deep breath, and I watched the rest of it because I was not ready. But let's talk about the read of the season with Miss Luxx Noir London. My God. Not only did this extra TV professional, TV professional, as Trixie Mattel say, Luxx went down the list and gave everyone a compliment, got to fucking Lucy and said, you should go home because your drag is generic. That was not an opinion. That was a read. Luxx has been waiting to take Lucy out for the longest, and now I want to know the backstage tea. Like, why are y'all going so hard for this girl? What are we not seeing? I have to know. Deliberation. Even though I was shocked that the judges gave Lucy such a glowing praise, I was glad that they clocked the lack of magic and the lack of fun that Lucy should be having. Every time Lucy worries herself or makes a comment about needing the judges or needing the other girls to see her, that takes energy away from her. Again, with Lucy, it needs to be shown, not tell. Don't tell these people a goddamn thing. Show them. I think Luxx should have been high safe or the winner. Her garment was on point. She shined in that little bitty role. I would have been very happy to give the win to Luxx because I think she pulled through. I think she's been doing well this entire time. I love that she irritates racists who don't think she should be confident. I love that she has confidence. I love that even though she does not have a lot of support, she managed to make it on RuPaul's Drag Race. That is very inspiring for someone like me that doesn't have a lot of support and has to do everything by herself. It gives me hope that I can be successful as well. Now, because Anitra has won, she ties with Luxx and Lucy for 2 main challenge wins. Sasha has 3, Mistress has 1, and Selena still 0. Okay, so let's talk about the lip sync. The bottom 2 are Selena and Lucy. And I think it's funny that they're lip syncing against each other because they picked each other to go home. So I guess whoever sends the other girl home is technically a lip sync assassin. Selena gave me passion. Lucy gave me technically great. You know what Lucy gives me? Shea Coulee. They're both obsessed with excellence. They are both technically good at what they do, but sometimes I don't see their heart in their performance. And when I'm looking at a performance, I don't just care about how good they look or how well they're doing. I want to see a piece of your soul. I want to see what you've made, because that's the fun part. There was a point in the lip sync where Selena is really emoting, and it's like I started to tear up. And I was wondering, why am I getting so emotional? And I thought about it, and I was like, well, it's because maybe Selena has accepted that she's this in-between queen, that she still has a point of view, that she knows she has a point of view. Selena knows her point of view. It's just a matter of honing it so it's a little clearer. And I think that was hard for her coming in because she is such a popular LA drag queen. And to come on a show and be told week after week that you don't fit the mark is very difficult. So I definitely feel her pain on that. But again, like, if you're going to go out fighting. Go out people loving you, wanting to see your work. And that's how I felt. For anyone that thinks that production is 100% against Lucy, I disagree, because in my estimation, we could have easily lost Lucy. I didn't see the passion there. Yes, she's a great queen. Yes, she's going to be booked and busy. But but I would have kept Selena just based on that.
All right, baby, the titties are coming.
So I love that Selena's exit line wasn't just a goodbye. It was an acknowledgement that she is entering a new phase in her life and in her drag career. She said something about titties, here I come, or the titties are coming. Like, it wasn't sad. I love that these queens refuse to be defeated. You don't control the narrative, so when it's your time to go, hold your head up high. You fought. You fought, especially if 11 other girls left the competition before you. You should feel proud. And by the way, Selena, 6th place is technically a Legends placement, because that's Alyssa Edwards, that is Trixie Mattel, that's a bunch of other girls left in 6th place, and they have thriving careers, so can you. That's all I have to say. Thank you so much for sitting with me and watching my video. I would love to hear your thoughts on who you think should have been eliminated, who your picks are for the finale, what do you think is going to happen, no spoilers, and I will see you all later. Thank you so much. Love you. Bye.